Hi everyone, Catherine here from Inky Finger Cat. Christmas in July time, and today is my first video. I have just returned from my vacation in Sardinia, which my hubby and I went to. Absolutely gorgeous time. I'm covered in bites, but you know, it is what it is, and this is as tanned as I get. I'm actually a little bit rosy because I've just also cut the grass. But yeah, Christmas in July time, how exciting. So for those who don't know, Christmas in July is where I try to do a Christmas project every single day for the whole of July with a video. And I have been organised this year and done a bit of planning, but normally by this point, it is actually the 14th of June, I would normally have made more than no cards. So I'm a little bit on the back foot, but it's only because we've just had our holiday. So I'm hoping to get a few videos done today in readiness, and then I'll just try and just keep myself ahead of the game, but I will still be filming videos in July for July because that's how it works. So please do subscribe if you want to see the future videos. There will be a playlist for Christmas in July. There is a playlist for the last 2 years if you want to go back and watch those. This year I have been kind of keeping on top of Christmas stuff by doing Festive Friday, 2 years on the run, which means every Friday I do a festive project over on my blog. Some of them are filmed, some of them aren't. I've also been doing a theme per month in our little Facebook group. I'll leave the details of that below. But yeah, subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it. Just to explain, today's theme is called Last Christmas. Interpret it however you fancy. I have decided to interpret it by going with one of my favourite cards from last year's Christmas in July and doing a new version of it. It will not be the same. Editor Catherine put the photograph in of the card that you actually are using as your inspiration point now. But yeah, it won't be the same as this, but it'll be something similar because I really wanted to use those pinecone dies again. So without further ado, let's get cracking. Okay, so those who might have seen some of my prep ahead videos for Christmas in July, I popped pretty much most of the supplies that I might need for most card themes into a folder for each day. That's making it a lot easier for me to do these. That's the plan anyway. Obviously this is card number 1, but it means that I don't have to do as much thinking. So the main thing for this particular card was using a couple of different sheets of green cardstock, one of which I cut into a card base first, and then I cut a panel so that I could die cut it. But also I took the speciality cardstock that I got from Alex Siberia in a pack last year, put away in one of those safe places, and then couldn't find it. So this is probably one of the first uses I've got of that speciality cardstock. It included a glitter piece. Now, those that know me will know I'm not a big fan of glitter cardstock. There it is. This one doesn't seem to shed. I have not ended up covered in glitter, which is unusual. So these dies come with 2 layers of the main background panel. And it is fiddly to die cut out, but I did find that my Diamond Press Grand Marquise, which I've used a few times now, it cut it really well. I have tried cutting this with a shim of like a bubble wrap mailer envelope. That works as well in my platinum, but it still is quite fiddly. But as you can see there, it did peel away quite easily and it cut it nicely. The pinecones dies also come with the sort of the pine cones you can see at the bottom right hand side, the actual pine cones, not just the foliage, and I'm going to cut those as well separately. So I cut the background panel out of a lighter coloured green cardstock. I cut this very filigree type top layer out of both the glitter cardstock and the dark green that I had used for the card base. I'm fairly confident that the colours of cardstock that I'd chosen were shaded spruce and garden green, but I could be wrong. To be honest, I just wanted 2 tones of green plus the glitter cardstock, and it's just gonna, because it's difficult to layer these up and get them precise, they don't need to be, as in it is fine for them not to be. I just wanted different colours peeping out from behind the glittery one. Now, for all of these, I did take care to make sure I'd poked out all the little bits of waste. I'm trying to be tidy since I've got my new craft room. I'm trying to be tidy and clean up as I go along a little bit more. And I am trying to make sure that I don't put things back in the packets that have got a bit of waste on them. I clean everything as I go, you know, just trying to be a bit tidier. So I lay those 3 background dies to one side, die cut panels to one side, and then I'm working out, right, I'm going to use crumb cake. I probably need around about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches worth of cardstock. And this time I hadn't got a dark brown cardstock out, so I just used a bit of Vintage Photo Distress ink, straight from the ink pad straight onto the cardstock. I did then sploosh it with some water, that's a technical term, but just to spread that ink around a little bit more, give it a little bit of a watercolour effect. The darker ink piece is going to be the base of these die cut spaces, where did that word come from? Die cut shapes, and the lighter craft colour is going to be on the top. So it doesn't really matter that it's splodgy. To be honest, I probably didn't need to do that. It was fine, because I'm going to cover some of it up, and I am going to slightly ink up those craft coloured, crumb cake coloured top bits too. Now, I realised I was going to need 3 sets of the pine cones. So I did the same again because I realised I'd not sensibly thought about this. And yeah, I need 3 of the large, and then I needed 2, 4, 5 of the smaller ones in order to create the panel. All of the die. Oh goodness, I need to put my teeth in. I need to create the same pine cones that are on the background panel. That's how many you need. So you need 5 of the small, 3 of the big. 2, 3, 4. Just double checking, yeah, 5 and 3. I actually cut 6 of the small because I'm going to use 1 on the inside. This year, 2026, yes, that's what year we're in. Can you tell I'm not with it? I didn't have a huge amount of sleep last night, and so we got back from holiday yesterday at probably 2:30, 3 o'clock by the time we got in the house. 2:30, I'm going to guess at. In the afternoon, having been awake since 5 a.m. I didn't have a nap. Other people in the house had a nap. I didn't have a nap. And then I went to bed relatively early last night, but I didn't sleep well. And then I had to be up early because my parents have gone on holiday this week. And I was taking them to the place where they were meeting the coach. They're currently about to get on a ferry to go to Ireland. So I am nervously keep stalking them on the app that we use to sort of see where we all are. Yeah, I'm quite nervous about my parents being away. I don't know why. They used to live abroad, for goodness sake. They're more than capable of doing this trip. But yeah, it's the first time they've ever done a coach trip. I think my mum might have done one when she was younger. But yeah, not in recent years, so I'm a bit nervous about the whole thing. I'm sure it's all fine. Anyway, I digress. I am, however, tired as a result of doing all of the travelling and all of the stressing and everything this morning. Never mind. Right, back to the actual card making after that little blather onto real life. I am now sticking together all of my little pine cones, and you'll have seen that what I did was for the topper parts of the dies, I did stick them all onto my little grip mat and then just used an ink blending brush to pick up a bit of the Vintage Photo ink, and then I have just blended a little bit over. It means it just looks a little bit more natural, basically. Then what you won't know is that in between all of that and this point, I went shopping. I also went and did a food shop today. So there was a little trip out, and now I've come back and I'm now going to glue all of these green panels together. I think in total there was about an hour's worth of footage, maybe, of me popping this card together. So it is a little bit time consuming to put together. I think it's worth it. I think it's a fabulous card. I could have left it at just the 2 layers like last time. I think last time I added some shimmer spritz to each of the layers. That would work too. But this time I really wanted to use some of those speciality cardstocks, since I had refound them when I was putting my craft room back together again. I found the pack and thought, that's where they went. And so I'm making sure to use them. There is a few bits of it sort of dotted around through the folders for each of the days of Christmas in July that I have already planned. I have not planned every single day, but I have planned most of them. So I glued all those bits together with wet glue. You'll see I used occasionally the back of the hand technique to tap off a little bit of the excess glue, so it wasn't so splodgy. Again, I'm doing a bit of tidying up, and now I'm going to create the panel for the inside of the card blank. And I just created a little strip of that glitter glue, not that glitter glue, that glitter cardstock, in order to add a little bit of interest down the inside of the panel. And then I'm adding that final little pine cone, and I'm going to stick that on the inside of my card. Whenever I've done a coloured card blank, that's what I tend to do, is I will do a panel of white, and then we'll usually find something from the front to bring to the inside, whether it be a scrap of paper, or in this case, a little bit of that cardstock and one of the remaining die cuts that I had made. I quite often will stamp extras or die cut extras when I am creating, usually in case something goes wrong, and then I will add any that are left over to the inside. Now on the original, I had used a different sentiment. In this case, I wanted to speed things up a little bit, and I had got this ready done sentiment that was a die cut. And also on the last one, I used some star stickers, I think they were. And this time I've just used some of the sequins that have come from a Hey Little Magpie sequin mix. I think it was an Irish charm, so it was obviously one that was done for a March time kit. But I think that the greens and the golds obviously work well with Christmas cards. And that is my card done. So inspired by the card that I'd made last year, I went and made this card. Love both of them just as much as each other. I think they're both fabulous cards. I just love those die cuts. So a very die cut heavy card to start us off for Christmas in July this year. I'll be mixing it up. There'll be die cuts, there'll be stamps, there'll be various bits and pieces of pattern paper that happen along the way. But I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe to see more. Please like this video if you did, and leave me a comment below. Love to hear from you. Until next time though, bye bye.